So you can make 6 little snowmen. But I'm going to make the cut right below the heel here. Heel here. I hope that came out right. And we're just going to cut that across. But what you want to do, and you need scissors, sharp scissors, socks, decorative socks, and or some of the scarves. I have 3 different ones, but just for references, we're going to look at this one. The dollar store flannel scarves, they were great for cute little hats too. Any type of embellishment you might want. You're also going to need something for noses and eyes. For my bigger ones, I use these. I just happen to have the red ones. I picked them up for I don't know what reason, but I've been painting them orange, and I've been using a paint pen for the eyes. So I've been using that. And for the smaller ones, I don't have that with me, but I'll be getting that, and we'll go over that when we get to a small one. But just some little rubber bands, or you can use twine or baker's twine or anything that you want that you know to tie them off. These could break at some point, but you can always reapply them at the same time, so it really doesn't matter. You just reshape your little snowman. And you'll see when we get there, and I really sound like I'm rushing, and I'm not trying to. Again, just please bear with me. I'm trying. But this is, like I said, one that I wanted to get out. But instead of using the outside of the sock, we're going to give it, our little snowman, some texture. So we're going to turn the sock inside out. And with these Dollar Tree socks, you're going to find some of this extra fraying, and I really should put my glasses on so I can see. And there's a way to tack that down with glue, hot glue, or just, I mean, I've had one spring a leak, and he was losing his little rice everywhere. Oh, and that's another thing you need, rice. And long grain, cheap rice. Don't use minute rice. I mean, you can, but just cheap rice. So you've got your sock. You got to turn it in. You've got it turned inside out. With my 10-pound bag here, which is almost gone, so I bought some more. And this isn't going to be enough. And of course, I bought more, and I had to buy more socks. I don't know why, but I've just been grabbing it and shoving it in there. And there's other ways you can do this as well. Alright, so I gathered some of my supplies that I needed. I finished off that 10-pound bag of rice. So now I'm going to get into this one. And I don't want to use my new scissors because they're for fabric only. Alright, oh wait, there we go. And like I said, these little buggers do take a lot of rice. And if, I mean, you can put as much rice in it or as little as you want. Depends on how tight you want them. I usually will end up putting some in. And then when it comes to the head, I'll usually add a little bit more. So you want the seams to be, I mean, you don't have to, but you want the seams to be on the side, or at least these corners, so you know where your center of your little snowman is. This is definitely going to require some more. And this is a pound bag. I already had some in here, and we've used over half of it. So for now, I'm going to take one of these little rubber bands, and I'm just going to run that around a couple of times. And making sure I know where my... Alright, so we're going to work that rubber band down. Most of his head is going to be hidden, depending on your hat, but with the start of a snowman. And like I said, most of his head is going to be hidden. So there we go. He's done. Actually, no, he's not. But let's see where we can go from here. But here's your base. This is what you're starting with. And I think we'll start on a small one too. I have one of these little ones ready. So we'll just go with this. Again, it's cutting it off at the heel, straight across. Are these... One of these kid socks, these aren't real stretchy. I couldn't turn inside out, which is fine. You don't need to do that either. It's still worked out, but let's do it this way so it doesn't spill all over the place. Which, go figure, it is anyway. Alright, and I'm going to be naughty and I'm going to snip this bag with these scissors. And those, the little corners I will take care of too. But he needs a little bit more, or she. Oh, get that out of the way. It's easier to get the neck on these guys. But he's gonna be a little one. Looks like a potato. I don't know. Ooh. Like I said, figure out where you want his neck to be and how big you want his head. And these guys are a lot easier to do when it comes to getting that binder rubber band around there. Alright, so they're ready to go. His head, he's nice and firm. Some of them aren't, so they could definitely use more rice, but I'm just going to take some of that off. I'm going to put a little dab, just in case, just to seal some of that up. Yes, it's hot. Okay, so it's time to dress these little guys. Like I said, you have a variety of stuff that you can choose from. You've seen that I have several. They are being gifted to people. So, oh, looky here. Yeah, show yourself. You need to get down, Lacey. Come on. Down you go. All right. So, there are some men that I work with. And I have one department that I have been in for quite a few years, but I haven't been in that department for a while. So I'm thinking, and there she is again. I'm thinking I have a couple departments I need to deal with. So this could be, and friends in a few other departments, and family, and oh boy. Good thing I have a lot of them. And there's a few that I'm keeping for myself too. But because there are some boys, I bought some of these black socks. Well, let's try using the cuff. I don't know what it is going to do to this little guy's head, but... And we'll fold up that edge. Actually, we'll fold it up twice, so you don't see that. And I do have some ones that can be for the boys. Because this, that cut it at a weird angle. And because I had opened the top of it, all I'm going to do is end up lacy. I'm just going to, and that's the beauty of this. You can just, right now I'm just going to, oh, kitty. So we have a hat. And I will use more. Oh, I think she's going to try and make herself comfortable on some of the comfier things I have up here. We'll cut off a piece of this sock and when you cut it, it's going to roll inward. So the fuzzy side will be on the outside. And sometimes they're a little bit too big. And yes, it looks like she's making herself comfy. So it's just a matter of cutting that off. And this is where you don't want to get the glue on the rubber band. So we'll just glue that there. I have a feeling I'm going to lose my camera because the cat is making herself comfortable on making herself comfortable. Folded the way I like it. And of course he's got some black stuff on him. We didn't do this part. And we've got a little piece sticking out. And all I've done with those, and you could leave them, no big deal. I just stick a little glue on them, attach them, and they're good to go. But he's ready. He's ready to have his little face put on. And I told you I'd show you what I was doing. I have straight needles, and I'm using my sanding block for this. And again, use my paint pen. But I just take straight pins, and with the orange paint it's a lot harder. It takes several coats. But I just take my straight pins, stick them in there, paint what I need orange, paint what I need black with my paint pen. And those are super easy to do. We'll get back to him. So we'll just set him aside. Let's move on to this one. And I'll show you how easy it is to make a scarf with these, or a hat and a scarf. And you know, I mean, you can obviously get several, but I'm going to take the fringe off because you can actually use that. And you just have to be careful. A lot easier. Take this off of there. Alright, so I want to see if this long way will go around, and it will. Now, it all depends on how long you want your hat. And you're going to cinch it off, or you're going to turn it inside out and put a pom-pom on it. There's two different ways to do it. But what I'm going to do is head, we're just going to guesstimate. And I can trim this down if need be. Nice thing about plaid, you have lines to follow. So, what I'm going to do is take a thin line and start folding that up and try and keep it equal. And just by eyeballing it, this part doesn't matter. Let the same amount of black is showing, and then I'm going to do that again. So I have a nice edge. And then you fit this around this little guy's head. See how much you have excess, which is right on. So the width of the scarf is about their head size. Well, at least this guy's. And I'm just going to apply some more glue. Roll that in. This will be the very back. I could have gotten that better, but I didn't. And it doesn't matter if it's precise or not. So tack that down a little bit more. I didn't do that very well, but that's okay. Put that on his head. And you can have as much face showing or as little as you want. I go with very little. I mean, his head goes all the way up, but I don't put a face, I don't put a mouth on him, which you can do if you like. I just choose not to. But now if I wanted to put a pom-pom on this, I would turn it inside out and I would glue it all the way up, and I would actually make it into a triangle and glue it all the way up and then turn it right side out, and I'd be able to put a pom-pom. But I kind of like this method, and what I do with that is I'm taking this fringe, you just take one of these pieces. Lacey, she's playing with Christmas lights, which she hasn't done yet. Lacey, get the knot out of it so you have a nice piece of matching yarn. Or if you have other yarn, or you can use your jute or baker's twine. I really don't need all this. I'm just fraying it at this point. It's worked out easier before. I've done this several times. But go figure. Alright, and I don't need all this up here, so I am going to cut it off. And I'm just going to tie this Lacey This is the first time, of course, she's playing with my lights. Put a little bow in there. Oh, I guess I should be happy she's not in my tree. But these are the lights that are attached to the garland in my window. So, there you have it. That's what his little hat will look like. This scarf is a little bit different. I could take this piece. Because I haven't, I don't want to waste it. Lacey. And some of this will get glued down a little bit. Oh, She knew. As soon as I turned off the camera, she stopped. And I can make tails to go with that. And yes, I know it's a lot thicker, but so in this case, I'm just going to tie a knot because I already have that place where I want it. Just going to tie a little knot, and I'm just going to glue that to his scarf. And one would never know. And of course, if you're inclined, give him a little fringe. All right, because I had. All right, here we are. Now, I've been using these dots for buttons and the pins for eyes and noses for the little guys. I've got the noses, I've got the eyes, but I'll use some of the black ones as well, but I have from Dollar Tree. So I bought some of the buttons, and I got a dark one. That's the only one that I saw at the time. All these blackish, dark buttons, and that's the one I had picked up at the time. And I've been using those, so it's just a matter of gluing buttons on their little fronts. And some glue is coming through, which does happen because the buttons have holes. Go figure. All right, we are dressed, but now it's just about giving these little guys a face. I'm pretty sure I pulled one off, but these do have a sticky back, but I just want some extra added. Pull some of this glue paint. And I suggest maybe doing this another way. If you have a little tweezer or a little tool, use that. And yes, I have burned myself several times doing this. I just put a little nose on. Get two eyes here going. And then he's done. Unless you want to put some type of little embellishment on him. Snowflake, a pine cone, greenery, berries. That's up to you. And like I said before, you can do your face placement any way you want. You can make a mouth. Don't make a mouth. You can use something else for a nose to make him look more like a carrot, which I have done. Using a toothpick or a skewer, cut the very, very tip off the skewer, and then just paint it orange. Cut it off where you want it, use that. Anyway, that works as well. You can use, I guess, you can use an orange pipe cleaner. because that'll just sit right in there. But he's done. And he's just so stinking adorable. And let him model all the way around for you, and there you go. Another one of my army is complete. And because he's small, that's why I just used the 2. Use 20. It's up to you. However you want to make them. I'm just giving you the basics. And decorating them how I like them. So we have some buttons going on. And now I did grab the tools that I need. So for his eyes and his nose, I have these pins. And they're just sewing pins, straight pins with balls. And I have this little plier here. I'm going to hold that very tightly. I'm going to take my wire cutter. Snip that off. And there's still going to be some of that little pin left. That's fine. That's going to go into the snowman. I start with the nose first. Keep in line with the buttons. That way I know where to put the eyes. Just a small amount of glue. Too much, it's going to seep out. And that has happened on several, but it is what it is. You're not going to be staring at it that close. We have a nose. And I'm going to do the same thing with the eyes. And hopefully that music isn't too loud. That is heroboard. I will link their description of this video. It's copyright-free music for your videos. I got eye going on. Push that in there a little bit. And there's not much of the pin left, but to get the glue to adhere, I just push the eye in a little bit into the rice. And I know the reason I did one all black, because a lot of them kind of are girly colors, and I do work with some gentlemen, so I don't think they want some pink. And they might, but I've got some darker blue, but I'm keeping a couple of them. And I have plans for a couple of the other ones. So let's see, now I got some eye leakage here. But that's okay. Like I said, nobody's, a little bit too much glue. Nobody's going to be looking at them that close. And if they do, they do. And there you go. He's done too. So, the large and small, I think I have something to make a medium. I'm not going to do that right here. I might put something on him, like a button, just to give him a little bit of color. A neutral. We'll go with the green one. And just stick that over there. Just give him a little bit of color. Pull his hat down a little bit. Alright, here's what we have. I love him. These two go together, they're matching. They will be given together. But I have different varieties of hats. I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to these guys. I do have one gnome. And he is done in the same fashion for the most part. His beard is yarn. She's mine. And I've got two that still need to be dressed. But there's my little army, not counting the ones I just did. Let's put them in the mix. And there we have them. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. And we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you again for joining me.